On the 6th of April, President Uhuru Kenyatta ordered the cessation of movement in and out of Nairobi, a directive that was aimed at stopping the spread of COVID-19 across the country and one that would protect the elderly population that mainly resides in rural areas. But not many are aware of the gross extent to which the directive is violated through a combination of methods that include defiance, corruption, and lawlessness. Our undercover crew, traveling as ordinary passengers, has just completed a journey to Eldoret and back. Citizen Television's investigative reporter Purity Mwambia was one of those passengers. Here is Virus Safari.
Despite whipping by the police and the tough talk by the president,
let us not find ourselves being forced to take even sterner action.
Nothing really stops a defiant Kenyan from breaking the movement restriction rules put in place to control the spread of COVID-19. I'm off to experience what I can only call virus safaris. It is 4 a.m. now, and we are headed to the town center along Mfangano Street. Our sources there have promised to get us a vehicle that will take us to Eldoret town. So come with me, let's see how it goes. Under the cover of darkness, we made our way to the town center. But our meeting place was changed to Tomboya Street, inside a petrol station near the Afya Center building. As soon as I got here, this man approached me. He was looking for passengers heading to Kisii town. Inside this petrol station, we found other men who were also looking for passengers to ferry outside of Nairobi city. Joe, who was our contact person, was here on time.
Okay, yes.
We were asked to pay 3,000 Kenyan shillings each for our journey to Eldoret town. But the driver was not ready to leave yet. He was waiting for another passenger. We were kept waiting for 1.5 hours. In this journey, we'll be covering 324 kilometers towards the Rift Valley region, and you'll be crossing at least 5 police roadblocks. The first roadblock is mounted just before Limuru town, and there is another roadblock around Kijabe town. The next roadblock will be in Maimahiu town. And after that, police have also been placed a few kilometers from Nakuru town. And our last roadblock will be near Kapsabet Junction. We left Nairobi at 6 a.m. This will be our ride, a KCS 615X. And our driver will be this man, the co-driver, an expectant mother. Under the back seat, it will be me and our cameraman, Amos Amdani. They do not know that we are journalists, and they're not aware we are recording. We will do this secretly. The journey was smooth, but as we approached Mutarakwa area in Limuru, the driver asked us to alight from the vehicle. We did, and as requested, we walked with confidence, just like residents heading to their homes. We passed the police, and we were not stopped. None of them noticed us. Our driver too passed the roadblock and caught up with us just a few meters from the roadblock.
Hata nikawa kuangalia hata.
Unajua? Mkiwa wengi kwa gari. Inakuwa suspect. That's why
He was soft-spoken and a quiet man, but a conniving person. He avoided the Nairobi Metropolitan Roadblock, guarded by the General Service Unit in Uplands area. He chose to drive through the Maimahiu Road. Sometimes he would make calls to inquire on how the road looked like ahead. As we approached Kijabe area, he asked us to get out of the vehicle again and advised us to use a boda to cross the next roadblock.
Vuka tu pale. Eh. Sisi wawili. Nasema sisi wote so.
The riders here too are part of the game. We didn't have much time. We jumped on the bikes and no one stopped us. We covered the distance in less than a minute. There were other passengers here too, waiting to cross. Our vehicle too passed the same roadblock. We asked him how he managed to cross. And again, he made another call. This time, he was planning on how another passenger would be sneaked back to Nairobi. We approached Maimahiu town, but this time the game changed. The driver got out of the vehicle too. The vehicle was parked inside a car wash. The game here was to pour some water on the surface of the vehicle, and interestingly, he would not be driving past the police. He left the vehicle behind. He too crossed this police roadblock on foot. We used a boda to go past the police. Our driver later joined us on foot. His vehicle had already crossed over. He paid this man 50 shillings only to drive it past the police. But we raised the question of why we had to pay extra money along the way. He answered that question by making a phone call to a contact person, Joe. And surprisingly, there was another customer waiting for him.
So at least I got
It took us 2 hours to get to Naivasha town, and all through, we did not know what was waiting for us ahead. 2.5 hours later, we approached Nakuru town, and here again, characters changed. We were asked to use a matatu.
Kati bobe. Kati bobe. Vuka hii boda. Kwa tatu.
We easily passed the police, raising our hope of reaching Eldoret town without being caught. We decided to engage the co-driver in a chat.
Uone ni kama unapeleka mamako kifo.
We proceeded with our journey. At Salga town, a military vehicle had earlier been involved in an accident, and the police were busy trying to clear the road. We knew our final destination would be Eldoret town, but things changed when we got near the diversion that takes you to Kisumu town. We engaged him further, just for the purposes of wanting to know the reason of him not fulfilling his part of the deal.
kutoka hapa Eldoret 300. So tatu.
Sisi tulipe.
Sisi tulipe so tatu tena.
Hapana.
We parted ways here. And this is how the rest of the journey looked like. And with the big question in mind, supposing each one of us contracted the virus. The driver left for Kisumu town to go pick more passengers for Nairobi. The co-passenger headed to Bungoma town to meet her parents and other relatives. I and the cameraman, Amos, continued with our journey to Eldoret town. This clearly demonstrates how the virus is being spread outside of Nairobi metropolitan area. He paid our fare to Eldoret town. He handed us over to this matatu crew. It was a slow matatu. It would pick and drop passengers on the road. No COVID-19 guidelines were being observed. A journey that would have taken us 20 minutes took us over 1.5 hours. The driver and the tout would even alight from the vehicle and chat with people by the roadside. And when they got back into the vehicle, we asked them about the existence of COVID-19 in the country. All this was filmed secretly.
Corona imechanganya watu. Kuna corona.
Every shopping center we approached, they would stop and engage in conversations, even in the marketplace. At Timboroa, we hopped into a different matatu. This appeared to be moving faster, and we even passed the Kapsabet roadblock with ease. But again, they handed us over to a different matatu that would take us to Eldoret town. Inside this one too, no guidelines were being observed. People would get in and out freely. No masks, no sanitization of hands, and social distancing was forced by a lack of passengers at that particular time. And shortly before 2 p.m., our journey came to an end. We are finally here in Eldoret town, Uasin Gishu County. This journey has taken us 8 hours. Under normal circumstances, this would have taken us 6 hours. A few people here in this town wore masks, and it was business as usual for many of them. We drove back to Nairobi that same day. We noticed people were using the same roadblock to sneak in and out of Nairobi. This explains just one journey out of many that could well be transporting the virus to innocent rural areas. Purity Mwambia, Citizen TV.